You're watching Morning at NTV.
Morning, this is Morning at NTV. You're now into Take Note with me, Flavia, live at the Serena Explorer. I like coming here because it's serene, it's quiet. It just gives you that mental wellness to start your day. So, yes, there's this Explorer. And this morning, when my colleague shared with me that as a working mother, she's tired. As a woman, there's so many expectations, so many things that you have to deal with. And I thought to myself, I'm not yet a mother or a wife, but I already have expectations. So I'm thinking, will it get 10 times harder after this? Well, joining me today ahead of Mother's Day is a woman who's very passionate about women, about mothers, about us being pillars in our society. Charity Biaruga, Mrs. Yes. Works with SMS1 for Mixer Kids and now has something grand for us women. But before we get into that, good morning.
Good morning, Flavia.
Are you enjoying your hot chocolate?
Oh my God, you just did it for me. I just love this place. It just feels, it depicts what Pillars in the Palace is about. You chose the right place.
Yes.
This place has too many pillars.
I'm telling you. So let me start with the fact that you're with Mixer Kids.
Yes.
Which is what, a platform for kids?
It's a digital publishing platform for children.
Okay.
Yes.
That's
where
ages.
Children write their own stories, and then we publish them into books, and the whole world can read them. Can you imagine?
What are the ages that you deal with Mixer Kids?
5 to 15.
5 to 15.
Because up country, up to 15 years, someone is still in P5. Yes, up country. You know, because they take long to start school. Forget Kampala. Kampala, your children, by 12, they're done with primary. So we had to cater for them as well, because some of the books are coming from Kabale, Mbarara, Gulu. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. So let's talk about the modern woman.
Yes.
I want people to be empowered, and this conversation won't stop here because I know it's long, it's grand, it's just starting. You have gone through the pillars. You're a woman who's married, who's working, who's a mother.
Yes.
Which to many women watching, they say, oh, how do you do it? But what's probably the biggest challenge for a working mother?
The biggest challenge, balancing work and life. That too. Because at the end of the day, my boss expects me to achieve at my workplace.
Yes.
And for me, my job is a target-oriented job. We have to bring in money. We have to bring as many people on the platform as possible. We have to make sure we are giving solutions to different people. Because with SMS1, we do digital solutions. So he expects me to deliver. Whether the child is sick, whether I've lost someone, whether my husband is not well, he expects me to deliver. So balancing that and making sure that to my 3-year-old, I'm still mommy because she needs her mom. Yeah? The 13-year-old is just a new teen. I also have to make sure that I'm catering for her needs. She needs someone to listen to. She's beginning to have a sense of a particular style she wants. She wants to hang out with her friends. I think if you noticed before we got on air, she was with my phone.
Yes.
Oh my God, the moment I put my phone down, she starts chatting with her friends. You get it? So balancing that is the biggest challenge for me.
Charity, are we doing a disservice to ourselves as women when we discuss the challenges of being a working mother? You can't balance it all. What about the men? It's not like you had these children on your own. It's not like the society and the community shouldn't help you. Where is the support system for a woman who is a mother, who's working, who's doing it all?
The support system, I think the first one comes from your husband.
Yes.
If you don't have a husband, because we also have single moms.
I was raised by a single mother, and she did it all.
Yes, we also have single moms. But the single moms also have their own nature of support. They have grandparents in the picture, they have aunties and uncles in the picture, they have friends. I'll tell you, this thing is not done alone. You really need friends around you, and friends who think in the same value systems like you think. So it's not that women are being selfish and thinking about themselves alone, but at the end of the day, we have to be thinking.
So how do I decode that this person in my support system is with has the same values and beliefs as me? Because I assume if you're in my circle, we already have something in common.
Naturally, life has a way of cutting out some people from you. I'll tell you, when we were starting Pillars in the Palace, and when I decided that we are going to launch it at the Serena, some people automatically fell off. They're like, Serena is expensive. You guys, that's too much. I think it's for the high-class lady. So they fall off. Not that you don't want them on your side. You actually want them on your side. But you start with those who can understand what you're doing.
So are you telling me as a woman, I have my ambitions, I have my career, I have my family. If I want to balance it all, I have to have people around me who understand that I have to balance it all.
Yes.
So you don't judge maybe my decisions.
Yes.
How important is it for me as a woman to pat you on the back and say, Charity, good work?
How important
Because,
is it?
yeah, for a fellow woman to sometimes give each other permission to exist in whatever decisions you're making.
I hear you. That's why even we've started this whole platform. Because at the end of the day, we work so hard, and society judges us too hard also, especially if you're in the limelight. I'll tell you, when I was at a lower cadre junior, in my first job at the Monitor as a sales executive, nobody cared. Because at sales executive level, we were around 100 sales executives delivering a target. Nobody cared. As I grew to brand manager, to those levels, then they started to care. What am I saying? I'm saying that at each level of your career growth, there will be new challenges. And at each point, you need a mentor. And that's why in the pillars in the palace, we also have a career pillar, because it's very important. Even if you're a stay-home mom, I'll tell you, my sister jumped out of a job. She was a head of human resource. That time she had 2 children. Her job was in Entebbe. And she just said, you know what? I'm going to be a stay-home mom. And we had to support her. Me, my mom, her friends, we had to say, you know what? Do it. At that point, her children mattered. She stepped out of a job for 4 years. 4 years, she homeschooled her kids. By the time she was done with 4 years, they did interviews for international school and they excelled.
You know, Charity, I'm not yet a mother, and
I hear you.
I'm eyeing it, if I can say that. But
Yes.
I get worried because I have been on a career path for so long, and I'm so used to it. And it's so normal for me to be on a 5 a.m. to whatever time.
Yes.
But I can imagine that to have it all or to do it all, some sacrifices are made. What are some of the sacrifices, especially based on our society, Charity,
That we make. I'll tell you a few. Some of the sacrifices we make are like, on a Saturday, I will not go to work. You have to decide, Saturday I will not go to work. Or I'll come in early, end my day early. Or I will not go to this function. Or I will hand my mom some of this work. Yes, it's a sacrifice.
Yes.
You compromise with your husband and tell him, you know what, mom has to help me at this point. My sister has to help me at this point. And you explain. And that's why you also need a supporting spouse in this day and age. Because if you don't do that, then it's very difficult. Another sacrifice you make is finances. I know very many people.
Charity, I like money. Go slow on the finances.
No, I'll tell you the truth. Sometimes I put on a cheaper dress for the sake of my family. Sometimes I hold the same bag for the sake of my family. I have friends who have saved for the longest time to take children abroad. Yes, because they want a particular type of education for their child. I'll tell you, I took the savings, the last savings my parents had, they put them into my education to send me to the UK. I actually saw them staying with nothing.
You know, I'm worried for us, the younger generation who believe, actually now I'm out of the younger generation. The ones younger.
You are still younger. You're still younger.
I don't know if I'm still a millennial.
Yes.
But there's a generation that believes that, or is taught, if I get a man who is stable. I know you're already laughing.
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Financially stable, is educated, has it all, then I don't have to make so many sacrifices financially.
I hear you.
Just perhaps for a young girl watching, the importance, even a woman, with the importance of being not just financially independent, just independent as a woman. Is that valuable for us?
Okay, so I'll first correct it. The end. I'm sorry. Actually, we are aiming for every pillar in the palace to be financially independent. That one we're not compromising. If you get a chance, Flavia, come tomorrow and listen to Barbara Katende.
Oh, by the way, we'll be explaining what pillars of the palace is. Don't worry, yes.
Her whole life revolves around ensuring everyone that gets into her reach is financially independent. That's important.
But you know, society puts us at a disadvantage if a woman is financially independent. You're looked at a certain way.
But you don't have to announce that you're financially independent. After here, go and read about the Proverbs 31 woman. She didn't announce. She didn't announce.
She exudes her
She
character.
just did it. You don't have to announce. What if the gentleman loses his job? Do you walk out of the marriage? Yeah, he was the MD. Okay, yes, you woke up. He was the MD. You had the perks. You were bringing your family to Serena to swim for free. Yeah?
The best
so
of
you
the
lived
cars,
that life.
good schools.
They took you to the best schools. Then he loses his job. Do you walk out?
No.
Do you look for the next MD to marry you? You get it? Okay, God forbid. What if he dies?
You should be able to carry the family.
Yes, with the standard you've set. So we are not aiming for women to just have money, but be financially independent. You are allowed to have up to seven to 8 careers, for your information. Okay, if you spend some time with me, the Bible tells me I'm allowed to have between 7 to 8 careers. 7 to 8 streams of income.
So if I have 3, I'm already, I'm
You're
not,
still
I'm
below
not playing
standard, boss.
within the standards I should
Okay,
be
so
playing.
the standard is 7 to 8, and people actually excel at them.
I think what we're saying is that as much as a woman is financially independent, what financial independence gives you is so that you can also be security for your family,
Thank you.
security for yourself.
Yes.
Financial independence for women doesn't give us a right to then...
To show off. You don't need, like, who really cares? Does Obama splash his riches? Does Oprah Winfrey? I mean, it comes naturally. They are rich. They are so rich, but they are humble. Just be humble.
I want us to talk about pillars in the palace.
Yes.
But before that, when I actually said that I was bringing someone to talk about us as modern women, she
Yes.
said, I want you to ask this question. Don't sugarcoat it. Please ask your guests. As modern women who are going into marriages where in 2018, marriage and relationships have changed. What our mothers used to do as wives, the role hasn't necessarily changed. It has been, should I say, edited, it has been changed. The versions are different now. Not the cooking, not the waking up early, not the fending. And she's saying, as a woman going into marriage in the future, as a modern woman, I'm seeing career women, I'm seeing them soar, I'm seeing them be successful with their families. Are they still
Okay.
Are they still the old modern woman, the old woman, the old version of the woman? What do I carry from then to here?
Okay, without her permission, I'm going to expose her. To answer you, there's someone I'm going to expose.
Okay.
Yeah, on NTV.
Apologies ahead of time.
Apologies, Irene Birungi Mugisha.
Oh.
Yeah. Irene is my friend. She's a career woman. When you meet her on TV, at Serena, in her all pimped up clothes, you just want to be Irene. I hang out with Irene. I visit Irene's home. When I walk into Irene's home, she is putting on a long dress up to down, all covered up. She has her apron. She's in the kitchen cooking for Mr. Mugisha. Not any one time have I found a maid serving Mr. Mugisha. She's with her daughters, teaching them how to cook. She actually has a kitchen outside, typical Sigiri kitchen, that is modernized. Yes, okay, we've modernized it because we are modern, but she still cooks. She will not cook every day, but she cooks. Do you get it?
Yes.
She checks that the clothes are ironed. She checks that the home is in place. Yes, she will have a support system. And I'm saying every woman today, the marriage today, you are still married. But you have people who are helping you scrub a few places. That's why you need the financial independence. Yes, sometimes I get a brush and scrub at home. But I can't afford to do it every day.
time,
But because I'm independent, surely I can pay someone
I
to relieve me.
Forgive us, Mr. Mugisha. We now see why
I
you look very
apologize.
healthy.
I apologize.
Boris
But
Mugisha,
yeah.
we apologize ahead of time, but we now know why you look good. And just to maybe now tell them, Mother's Day is this Sunday, so
Yes.
please do pamper your mom, remind her the value that she is in your life. But you have pillars in the palace. Just briefly talk to us what that is about.
Okay, so Pillars in the Palace, I'm glad with the way you've introduced this whole thing. It's just a platform that we've put together. And it's me and a few ladies who you'll meet And all we are doing is we are putting women together as a community to pat themselves on the back.
Yes.
We are doing it well, but also to help each other. You know, I have this tin, I don't know what to do with this tin. I'm struggling with ABCD. So we have 5 pillars. We've talked about finance already. We have health. I'm glad you are telling me not to mix sugar here earlier. We have health.
You need to be healthy.
Yes, health is very important. We have career. We talked about career. We have prayer. Because like it or not, every mother, every woman, whoever you are praying. So we are not going to undermine the prayer. And then we have parenting.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you're launching it tomorrow?
We are launching it tomorrow. But for purposes of those who are watching us,
Yes.
we already have a website. They
Great.
can begin to have a look at what Pillars in the Palace looks like. So www.pillarsinthepalace.org.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can check that website now, just interface with it, see where you can fit. And I guess from what I get from her, it's possible for women to find time to be healthy,
Yes.
find time to have some wellness and peace of mind, take care of your family and your home, take care of yourself, be financially independent. So if you've been worried that your career will take the back seat and your family will take... No, you can still have it all, just in equal measures. And if you're looking for a community perhaps, or
It's
a
a
support
community.
system, where other women are telling you how they've done it, how you can do it. Pillars in the Palace is what this website
I
again
can
is.
assure you that they will be safe.
Yes.
We will not expose. I have only exposed Irene because she's in my heart.
Irene, forgive us.
Yeah,
Yes.
she's my sister.
Okay.
Yeah, I have permission.
But everyone will
But
have a safe
everyone
place
else will
to
have
share
a
their
safe place
stories.
to share what they are going through and how to help each other. There will be a place for mentorship.
Great.
There will be a place for partnerships. There will be a place for people to grow their businesses. If you have another career we don't know about, we can now support that other side that we don't know. Yeah.
Okay, so resourceful women. So if you want to become a resourceful woman, Pillars in the Palace is launching it tomorrow. Is that open to the public?
No.
So for now,
It's not open to the
closed off. But after
public.
that,
After that, it's open to the public. What we encourage is people to buy tickets.
Okay.
We are still selling tickets up to midday.
okay.
Here
So
at the
I'm
Serena.
more concerned with after tomorrow.
So after tomorrow, they go to the site.
Okay.
And they'll be seeing these champions. We're going to be having champions, Pillars in the Palace champions, and people will be subscribing through the website or through Facebook. We already have a Facebook page that is online. We have a Twitter page. They can begin to share.
You know what's powerful?
Yes.
Is when they say that many women say, I stand on the shoulders of greats. And I'm glad you're doing this. I'm glad there's so many other women who are willing to share their stories. So
Yes.
the next generation can also stand on their
So
shoulders.
you don't get afraid to get married. You'll come, we welcome you. We welcome you to this side. Yeah.
Tell the truth. Tell the good and the bad of marriage so that the girls can. But it's a safe place, and I'm
Yes.
glad you've shared that. The hashtag is Morning at NTV. Of course, this conversation, as she said, is
Continue.
wide. I'm sure she'll be back here to break it down for us. Tell us the progress.
Please.
Tell us the successes of all the women who are sharing. So you said? www.
.pillarsinthepalace.org.
Pillars in the Palace. And
.org.
yes, and any gems you might want, whether 5 tips or 3 tips that you feel like the woman today should take away from today.
Take away from today.
Yes.
Be humble. Whew. Be humble. Nothing is impossible. Pray. However hard it is, it's not too hard. Someone has done it before, and you too can make it. Support another lady.
That pat on the back from other
Support
women is
her.
very important.
Support her. Support her. Be there for her. You never know where she will help you. Tomorrow she will help you. Yeah, so be there for her.
I want to wind it up with something very important. I don't want people to say we've had a conversation about us women.
And no men. Yeah,
Exactly.
I'm guessing.
It's very important because men are the pillars. If my partner is not supportive of me, and if I get into the marriage and I have to leave home at 4 a.m. to come for morning at NTV, we're going to have problems, which will either trickle down into the... If you are a career woman who you said you have targets, sometimes you leave the office after every one.
I leave after 10 sometimes.
There you go. And you have a home. So what's the importance, what's the role of men in this discussion? Are they even going to be included at any point?
At some point, yes. Okay, so before Pillars in the Palace, Psalms 144 says that our sons shall be well-watered plants. So men are plants. They are the tree. They are the seed givers. They are the support. They are the covering.
Okay.
I cannot be who I am meant to be unless you're covering me.
Yes.
Yes, many times they are behind the scenes covering us.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So men are definitely
They are in it.
covering us.
Yes.
So as much as we're having this conversation, you're very important in guiding us and also holding our hands. Even that part on the back is very important. It's been an interesting conversation. Pillars in the Palace launches tomorrow. Mother's Day is Sunday. Please hold and hug your mother if you still have her. If you don't, say a prayer for the others. If you're a mother, well done. From me, good morning.
Flavia, it has been quite a very interesting moment down here. I've had a couple of interactions with my people, but one thing stands out. KCCA is still a big problem to them. They still have an issue of how their merchandise is wrapped up and is taken. And the question is, why is it taken and who takes it? So it has been quite a good one today. I didn't have breakfast around here, but it was quite an incredible experience. My people are actually up and running. They really love to work. They love to hustle. One problem that is in their way is KCCA. I don't know how best we can align the relationship between KCCA and my people. Abantu bawansi.
Andrew, thank you so much for that. That has been the show. Communication. Never take it for granted. Always be intentional. When you want to say something to someone, think twice before you say it, and then say it. Think, what will be the impact? What is the goal? What do you want to communicate? Is it effective? Because at the end of the day, it will build on your reputation and a brand, your brand, okay? So be sure to always take that into consideration. That has been the show for today. Don't you worry. We will be back next week with a totally different theme. This week we've been looking at the labor sector, you as the Ugandan worker. So next week we'll be coming in with a totally different theme, different topics on a day-to-day basis, because our aim to come to you every single morning is to highlight the challenges that you face, and for us to try and get experts, people who are in authority, to forge solutions to those challenges. But don't you forget that for every challenge you face, you have the solutions within you. So always look deep within, because you have the solutions. So have a blessed weekend, and be sure to tune in next week from Monday to Friday, 7 to 9 a.m. Goodbye.